Welcome back, y'all. This is Kirk. That's GlamSlay, and this is unPolished. Today, we back at it once again with another heater, per usual. What are
Kirk,
we talking about today?
Kirk, I have one thing to say to our listeners.
What?
You ready? Hi, Barbie. I have been dying to say that. I am so
For
in
weeks.
my Barbie era right now. Everything's Barbie.
Everything is Barbie.
I literally used to think I was Barbie when I was little.
You have any Barbie gear?
I do.
What you got?
I got the Booty by Brabants all pink collection.
Why are you out here plugging them? They're not paying us.
Listen, I like them.
I mean, still, they're not giving us a check. Plug them.
Anyway, so Kirk, I have to like air this out because this is why we do this. So when the Barbie movie released, I was obviously obsessed because I really thought I was Barbie when I was little. Like had Barbie everything. You can ask Mama D; she'll vouch for me. I read an article that these people were going on blogs hating on these girls, young and older, my age, older, because they were going to the movie dressed as Barbie.
What's wrong with
Let
this is
me
Barbie?
tell you something, haters. Let these chicks live, okay?
They gotta have
Let
something to
them
look forward to.
live. Life is real short. If I want to go to the movies in a full-out Barbie outfit, I'm going, and I'm going to do it twice and take pictures.
Did you though?
I didn't.
You haven't seen it yet?
I have not seen it.
But are you gonna be dressed up as Barbie?
1,000%.
Oh yeah, I knew you were.
Come on. I could care less. I will wave at the people that stare at me if I am dressed up and I am getting looks. I will wave at them.
I mean, listen, man, it's a movie.
I just don't understand. Like,
People dress up like Harry Potter when they come out.
thank you. Can I just tell you that we went to like a amusement type thing with me, Logan, and my friend and his friends, and there were kids that were grown adults dressed like the whole cast of Mario riding the go-karts.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Fire.
okay,
Actually, that's a great idea. I
get
want to do
it,
that.
Princess Peach. Like, I am here for it.
I really want to do that.
I mean, who is anybody to judge?
I'm about to buy my Mario. Actually, I want to be Wario or Yoshi, actually.
Oh my
and
God, that's a vibe.
Yeah.
Can I come out? Can you invite
Yeah.
me?
Who are you going to be?
A Princess Peach?
I thought you were more like Daisy.
Who the hell is Daisy?
Daisy's better than Peach.
Hold on, I gotta Google it now. You guys, should I be offended?
Daisy's way better than Peach.
Anyway, okay, I'm off my Barbie. I'm really not, but we can stop talking
But no, in
about
all
it.
seriousness, though, welcome back, though.
I know, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
I'm liking this
a
YouTube
little
thing.
break.
You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
if you have not gone, go listen to our episodes. Kirk is getting them up slowly but surely. We have some Vegas
YouTube.
content on YouTube. Check it out. You can still listen to us on your regularly scheduled podcast programming, but we would like you to go to YouTube, like, subscribe, tell your friends.
Yes, and I mean the goal here is that we're gonna start going and being on live video and videoing our podcast, so you can see what we look like, and we're talking live. And
Daisy's cute.
I told you Daisy's way better than Peach.
Oh, she's cute. Why have
Way better.
I grew up with Mario. Why have I never known who this is?
Daisy's better.
I like her. She's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not offended anymore.
But yeah, welcome back, and GlamSlay, what we talking about today, man?
So, we got a hot topic. Why couples lose their individuality in relationships.
Man.
Do you feel me or no?
No, I
Is this
feel
a
you.
problem? I feel like it's a problem.
Individuality in a relationship is important. I feel like you have to keep yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't lose yourself just because you started a relationship or got married or something.
Oh my, that's like a whole different rabbit hole that we will go down.
What, marriage?
Yes.
I mean, regardless, you should still keep your individuality.
But I have a question for you, and I'm going to kind of hit you off the cuff with this. Do you feel like the reason why this has become such an issue is because people are not being real when they are getting into a relationship and it all of a sudden like explodes years down the road?
I mean, I think that could be something that ties into it, but overall, I just think that you should never lose yourself. Like, you should always still do the things that make you, still do the things that you enjoy to do. Just because you get in a relationship doesn't mean anything like that should stop. You know,
Here's my motto.
that would turn me off a relationship. Like,
You cannot be a we if you haven't figured out a me.
yeah, no, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
You cannot. Okay? I'm going to say what I said to you earlier when we were talking about this. These girls are out here looking for someone to save them. Slay your own dragons, princess. I promise you that advice, you will thank me later. You're welcome.
So individuality in relationships. Why do you think it's important?
Because it is a recipe for disaster if you don't make it a priority. You have to be so upfront with who you are. Like if I am pretending to love sports and date somebody that's a sports fanatic and I'm faking it like the glam for the gram, okay? And then a year down the road, this man discovers I don't like sports, which is a total lie because I live for sports. But come on, how do you think that they are going to live happily ever after?
So do you think individuality is just based upon not being, or based upon being forthright when you first start a relationship? Or
I think a lot of it is, right? Like, if you fall in love with someone, it's probably because you loved what they stood for, right? And I think that people are getting into relationships for the wrong reasons and they're looking for some self-validation and lean on somebody else for their happiness. And you can't. You have to get into a relationship and already know who you are, know what you want, and not compromise that for anybody.
I actually got a question that just came to. I know sometimes we have some pre thought out questions just to keep structure, but I actually got something that just came to my head. What about if you were started a relationship and then you kind of what am I trying to say? Like what's the word I'm trying to say? Like when you progress or you grew, right? You grew into someone like like maybe started liking other things.
Yeah, that's a good question.
And then
I think relationships, you have to allow growth, though. I think that's a really good point. You have to, I think early in if you're in the wrong relationship, and unfortunately some people stay for reasons that are not logical to others, but I think a lot of the losing who you are, you stop doing things you love. Like, it'd be like me being in a relationship and stop going to the gym. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm never going to stop working out for anybody. I don't care who you are. Like, that's who I am.
does the person you are with really know who you are?
Yes. To a fault. To a fault. I think, and we could go on a whole other episode about that, but like, I think because I'm older and I've learned from my mistakes and past relationships that you have to lay it all on the table because people are getting older and time is money. Like, not wasting time, right? Like, so I lay out who I am to a fault because I don't ever want someone to turn around and go, you weren't like that, or I didn't know that about you. No, sir, you did. And you still signed on the dotted line. Like, sorry, not sorry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I feel like I was very upfront about who I was.
You
from
have
the
to be.
jump.
You have to be, because it is just, to answer your question, like, I go back to, we've talked about this before, like the show The Bachelor. You're in a house with like 1 million people. You narrow it down to 3, and then you have to pick who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You're on an island and everything's sunshine and unicorns. I have news for you. That is not real life. And you're going to go home and realize a whole bunch of shit about this person that you don't like.
I hate that show.
It's terrible. It used to, like, I watched it for a really long time, and then I started getting really annoyed because they were all breaking up when they got home. Why do you think that was happening?
Because that shit was fake.
Because everybody's sugarcoating everything. Like, you can't stop doing what you love, but you and I also talked about, and I think this is very valid, you could be in a relationship and introduce your person to things that you love that they might not.
Oh, for sure.
That doesn't mean that you're losing your individuality. It means that you're growing with that person.
Right. And I mean, being introduced to new things is like interesting and intriguing and something that is attractive. You know, in most cases, at least to me.
I just can't stand this whole like I don't know if have you ever had a friend that like got so, lost in their relationship that they forgot about you, or maybe like, you don't lose who you are just because you're in a relationship, right? Like, or who your friends are, or, everybody, life is busy and you get busy, and that's valid, right? Like, life is busy, and always family comes first, and your significant other comes first, and your kids come first. But that doesn't mean you lose everything else that you are. You have to make time for those little things that made you a couple in the first place. And I think that goes as a couple too. Like, never lose who you are as a couple.
No, I'm definitely all for that, and I think and that's just another point. Like, you just have to make sure that you're making time for those things.
Not a lot of people do.
I feel like it could be hard though. You're not trying to upset the apple cart, and a lot of people got these planned out lives, and you got schedules and work, and it's hard to maneuver some of that stuff.
But if you're not doing those things, like, your relationship is going to suffer. That's my opinion.
For sure.
You're going to resent the other person. There's going to be a lot of like, it's like guys trips, girls trips, right? Like, you're going on a guys trip.
Yeah.
That's important. That stuff like that is important, because when you get home, everything's still going to be there, right? Like, your house is still going to be there. Your girl's still going to be there. Life is still going to be there, but you have to make time. I also think that couples trips are important. I know girls that will only go on girls trips and never go away with their husband.
Well, that's weird.
That's crazy, right?
That's weird.
Like, that's weird to me. I think that couples lose their selves in the relationship aspect, not making time for one another. Like, how do you not go on a date night?
That's one thing I'll never understand, is how those who won't prioritize their relationships
it's crazy
and put
to
those
me.
types of things first.
How do you function?
Like,
if you have kids and life is busy and y'all are working and you haven't been on a date night in a year, 2 years,
it's crazy.
How in the actual hell are you functioning?
There's no way that your relationship is happy. Zero shot.
You can't be.
Zero shot.
Even if it's like a date to go get ice cream, like, I don't even care. Like, a date to the gym, a date to the supermarket.
Right.
Like, life is busy. That might be your only chance to connect. You have to make that time.
I feel like some of these things, like, just thinking about these types of things is kind of what made us want to talk about this.
Yeah.
And how important it is to really reevaluate these things in your own life, but also, like, you're also surrounded by so many of these things, that so many relationships, so many couples, especially being like adults now, and kids are going to school, and you're meeting other parents and couples and things like that, and like, you'd be like, damn, they're like, their whole situation might be kind of crazy. So yeah, just being all up in those, that type of arena, just really makes you think about these types of things even more.
And as my son gets older, I think that's why I'm really like surrounded by all kinds of different things, right? Like, and I hear things, and I also watch a lot of reality TV. Guilty. Yes, I watch Real Housewives religiously, and I think that rots my brain a little bit, and gives me a tainted, perception on life. But these are really valid topics that I don't think people talk about because it's awkward. It's uncomfortable, right? Like, but it makes me sad because I think about like all the things I love to do. If I stopped doing all those things because I was in a relationship, I wouldn't be the person that other person fell in love with. It's fake.
Do you think people rely too much on other people to make them happy?
Yes, because they are getting into relationships when they're not ready. They have no idea who they are. I will be damned, okay? I am self-made. I do not need a man to fulfill my life. I want one because I can't imagine anything else.
And wants and needs, like, that's
a
good way to put it.
It's true. But there are girls that cannot survive on their own, so they find a man, cling to them, and expect him to save her. It is not going to happen. That could go bad at any day. And thank God my parents raised me right. Like, prepare yourself for the worst and hope for the best.
I think there's dudes out there that like that kind of shit too.
I swear to God. And that is a great, like, I would love to ask you that. What is the appeal to that? Please tell me.
That doesn't appeal to me. I don't want that. I don't want someone that needs to rely on me for their own happiness. I don't want someone that needs to rely on me to always set the table and set the stage. And I don't want that. I want someone that we're in this together. We do these things together. One day it might be you, one day it might be me. One day it's both of us. There's I don't want that. I could never imagine that. I feel like it's like, I don't know, it's just too one-sided to me. I've never been that kind of person. I've always been big on the individuality thing too, like, because I just feel like we're our own people. You are the captain of your own happiness. I can't control what makes you sad, what makes you happy. And I think that it's very important for you to voice those things, like what does make you happy, what makes you sad, what might make you upset. That way I can maybe be better on not doing some things that might make you upset. That kind of communication is great, but don't come to me to be the one that's going to make you happy all the time. That's not what I'm here for.
I do believe in one thing, and I could be contradicting myself. I believe that somebody can make you better.
Oh, for
sure.
Like,
as a couple, I do think that somebody can make you a better person. I have experienced that in my life now.
Yeah.
Like, there are people that you meet and they just make you a better human. My son makes me a better human, right? Like, I think the day he was born, I became a better human. I definitely became a better human. And much more toned down than the old GlamSlay. But
not turning up on people.
I mean, I still do that. Not to the same extent. You turn up right with me, sir. So
I only turn up if you turn up.
Oh, that's how this works. Always on go.
Yeah.
But I do believe in that person can make you better, but they don't make you who you are, right? Like, they compliment you.
Right. And that's a great way to put it. It's a complimentary thing.
But I also think, and I think this is gonna get a lot of backlash and whatever. This is unpolished. Do you think that some people that lose their individuality have been in the relationship too long, and maybe that's all they know? That they got into it at a very young age and they grew apart instead of together?
I think, is it possible? For sure.
I know it's a loaded question.
I definitely think it's possible. I'm definitely sure that's probably out there happening every day. But again, I think that just comes down to communication. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to talk. Like, you also can't expect someone to be the same person year in, year out. Like, that's no growth. That's stagnant. That's complacency. That's boring. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't expect someone to not maybe start to develop liking new things, or you try something new, you visit a new place. Mm-hmm. Like, those things change you, right? And for the better or for the worse. But you can't expect someone to not grow and to not change, and you gotta be ready for that. You gotta appreciate that, be open to that, and communicate those things. By not doing that, you're doing yourself. You're not only you're hurting the person that you're with, but you're doing yourself a detriment as well. Yeah. Because you're holding yourself back.
It's
At least how I feel.
It's true. I think there's a lot of power in the couples that grow together, right? Like, I think that there's a lot of, yes, you need to come into the relationship knowing who you are, but you're allowed to grow. And I think there's a lot of power in growing together and building the empire, building that 30, 50, 80-year marriage, right? Like, till death do us part. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Hey, listen, I said it from the jump. Like, I got nothing. I got nothing.
What do you say? That pot or window?
I don't got pot or window. But
I never knew what that meant.
If you willing to just ride with me, grow with me, I guarantee you we gonna get it together.
You're lying. I see your Dior bag
and
over
that's,
there.
And that's
you tripping.
listen, like I just said, Same we gonna grow.
I don't have pot or window, but I got Dior bags and Gucci luggage.
I got Dior bags and Gucci luggage now. We're talking how many years later now?
I'm dead. Can I tell the story? Oh my God, this is so bad. I can't remember their names now, but we were out to eat at our favorite restaurant.
Oh, the older couple?
What was their name?
I
Jack.
forget
Was the
their
guy
names.
Jack? Oh my God,
Jack and Rose?
No, oh, you're funny. You guys are. No, I have to tell the story because I think this is when we really started talking about this episode. I always. I feel like I step into these comments. This triggered. We started having a whole conversation after they left the bar. So, we were sitting there, and this woman was stunning. She's like 80 years old.
They were both in their 80s,
yeah,
weren't they?
she comes
late 80s too.
Yeah. She sits down, and like, I'm just a firm believer of like, I'm like ultimate girl power. Like, me, Kirk has watched me do it. I'm going to tell you look good. I'm going to tell you if you're pretty. Like, I am not the girl hater. Like, I lift girls up because I just think it's so important. This woman comes walking into the bar. She was dressed to the nines, like hair done, makeup on point, in her late 80s, did not look it, has her designer bag, sits down at the bar and sits right next to me, and has her significant other next to her. And he was also dressed to the nines. Like, they were just a really good looking couple. And they started talking to us because we were ordering a lot of things. We ordered all the specials. We go here all the time, and we're putting together our best of Boston for you guys, like for food and whatnot. And so she was talking, and we're people, we love people. So we just started talking back, and I noticed her watch. She had a Michelle watch on. I said, "Oh my God, I love your watch. I collect those." And she was like, "Oh, Michelle watches? Like, not a lot of people do." And then her and I start talking, and she complimented my jewelry that I had on, and it really kicked off the conversation. And she starts telling me that her and her significant other, who I would have thought that they were married, both of their partners in life died within months of each other. She was in a bakery, and this man saw her, and he said, I said, what did you notice about her? And he said, she had a nice ass. And Kirk almost fell off his chair. It was the funniest moment. They were so adorable, but you could tell how genuinely in love they were, and they met each other grieving, right, over the loss of their husband and wife. And she moved into his home, right? And he made a comment, and he said, "I hate flowers, but she loves her garden." And she made a garden outside when she moved in, and she waters these flowers every day. I could care less, but I go outside with her every day while she waters her flowers. We have our coffee, and when she's not home, I sometimes forget to water them, but I always do because I can hear her in the back of my head saying, "Water the flowers." And it just triggered something in me. Like, that's really love. Like, they will probably be together till they both die, right? Because they're older, and they're just so content. They go out to eat all the time. They enjoy life. You could tell just by the way they looked at each other that they were genuinely in love. But the long and short of it is, he hates flowers, but he waters her flowers because he knows how much they mean to her.
Right. That's how I'm trying to be.
I mean, I think that's really cute. Like, you don't have to love everything the other person does, but you have to let them be who they are.
Exactly. Keep the individuality.
There, you see what I did there?
I see. I like the way that story went full circle.
I mean, it kind of sounded like a rant, but it meant something to me.
I mean, it was great speaking with them. I wish I remember their names, but
I know they were so great.
And they gave us a couple of good places to eat too.
We have to go there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I love a good breakfast.
Oh, he did. He was talking about breakfast.
That's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biscuits and gravy.
Yep. I mean, I just think it's so important. Like, and Kirk made a comment, like, before we started, what did you say? Like, if you're somebody that likes to go to the library and read every day.
Yeah. Whoa. Slow down.
So you're going
to. We're not there yet.
I thought that was good, though.
We're not there yet.
It triggered me.
We're getting close to it. I mean, we can segue. That's a good segue. We'll segue into it. Always we want to give a couple facts out here and try to, help y'all, keep your relationships intact and all of that, and bring the conversation full circle. So just some ways to keep your individuality. I got three ways you keep your individuality.
He always
So,
has these facts, you guys.
number one, you could prioritize your needs. You should always prioritize your needs, no matter what, whether you're in a relationship or not. Just like Nick, GlamSlay just said,
He's about to call out
I
my
was about to come out
government
your
name
my
on
bad,
this.
my
I
bad, my bad.
cannot.
Exercising. If you exercise, go exercise. Continue doing that. Make time for your friends. If you want to hang out with your friends, hang out with your friends. Make time for your hobbies. Not doesn't have to be things that you both like. Whatever you like, still make time for that. And do things that you did before you got into a relationship. So like Lance I said, if you go to the library and you read every other week, continue to do that. Don't stop doing those things. That's
You
important.
can invite the other person if you want.
Oh, of course, but even if not, I mean, still go if they want to go or not. You know what I mean?
I think it's important to explain the why. And I know I say this like in my career life a lot, and I say it to my son because I never tell him to do something and not explain the why. But I think I think it's really important if you're doing something and you have a hobby that the other individual doesn't do, explain why you love it and why it's important to you, because I think that plays a really big part in making a relationship work.
Yeah.
Like if you like to go to the library and read, why? Why do you do that? What does it do for you? Like not interrogating them, but like I'm curious.
Yeah.
What if I love Pilates? Why do I love it? Why do I do it? What is it? How does it make me feel? I think that really holds value.
Great segue into my number 2, which is a really big one. Like we've been talking about, the common theme throughout this whole conversation is communication is key. Be honest about your needs, and voice your feelings. You need to be heard. And if you're honest about what you need, your partner will understand that. And if they don't,
kick rocks.
Time to go. And number 3, allow your authentic self to shine. And this is so important. Like there's, like we said before, your authentic self is, probably a big reason as to why you're together with that person that you're with. And when you allow yourself to hide parts of yourself for fear that you might be abandoned or someone might stop wanting to be with you or what have you, that can lead to that codependency on your partner, or you starting to seek validation from your partner or other people. And that can lead to negative things. You start feeling, depressed, upset, resent the relationship, resent the person you're with. So always allow your authentic self to shine. And that's my 3.
Well, my GlamSlay tips of the day: don't ever rely on somebody else for your happiness. You have to be happy with yourself before you can be happy with somebody else. And I think that is so important. My other bit of advice: you really have to take time for your relationship in order for your needs to be met personally, right? Because I think that if one person in the relationship feels like the relationship is being neglected and that other person is focusing on them and focusing on other things around them, that person is going to have resentment and cause a fight, right? Like I think that there has to be that equal balance of the me and the we.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That me and we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Amen. Communication. Keep your individualism.
Don't lose yourself down the black hole.
I thought you were about to say something so crazy after that, and I was like, no, you did not just do that.
What?
I thought you were going Eminem on me real quick, and I was about to be like, whoa.
I could have, but I'm not in that type vibe. That's not my moment right now. I'm in
not
my
a big-
Barbie
I'm not-
era still.
I'm not a big Eminem
I'm
fan.
in my T Swift era right now.
Like, I'm a fan, but like
8 Mile was a great
his early
movie.
stuff. The later stuff, early stuff, yeah.
I'm in my Swiftie era.
Yeah.
It's me. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm the problem. It's me. Anyway, well, it's always fun chatting it up with you.
Nice getting back to it, man. I missed this.
Don't forget to tell our listeners to like, subscribe, comment.
Yes, definitely
Comment
to
below.
subscribe. Hit that notification bell
Ding, ding.
if you're watching on YouTube, and look out for us, man. We're gonna be having the videos up soon, the visuals. We're gonna grow this thing.
We need you to
help us grow
comment,
it.
though. We need you to comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We have a list of things that we could go on and on, but you guys are everything. So tell us what you want to hear. Do you have questions for us? Throw it in the comments. We will respond. We respond to everybody. And you can also email us at unpolishedpod@yahoo.com. Until next time, peace and love, y'all.